In this video, we are going to confront CTV. If you've been following along, they've hit us with some inappropriate copyright strikes, multiple now. But we found out that we're not the only ones. CTV has been bullying all independent media. And if you're aware of this online streaming act tax thing, we've been taking significant amount of money taxing the American and international social media companies and streaming companies, and then giving that money to other companies like CBC and CTV to promote Canadian content. And now we have CTV, a recipient of many millions of dollars from this program, using their resources to attack other independent media and shut down their content. So the funds that are meant to promote Canadian content are now being used to control Canadian content, removing independent media and keeping only these government-funded medias. CTV is a private corporation, unlike CBC, but it is still receiving tax money. Before we go inside this building to confront them, I'm going to play another clip from Northern Perspective, who are going through the same thing.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem. And the problem is that one of the mainstream media broadcasters is coming after Northern Perspective. They're coming after Wyatt Claypool, and they're probably coming after other independent creators for using footage that they've actually used in their broadcasts. Now, this is a problem because one of the tenets of news and one of the tenets of online independent creators is that you borrow clips from each other, comment on it, provide your own spin on it, and provide your own feedback on it in order to transform it and give people a different perspective. Hence the pun. But what CTV is doing is they are all of a sudden coming after independent creators for using clips out of their news broadcasts that everybody else has used. So when it comes to this specific issue, we put out this video. So this was a video that we talked about the trade war. We talked about some of the different broadcasters talking about it. And one of the clips that we used was from CTV's Vashi Kapelos. She gave her take on that. It's about 76 seconds of that video. And this video that we put out was about 17 minutes long. And the broadcast that we took this from was 23 minutes long. But CTV filed a copyright claim against our channel, trying to take all of the revenue that we were earning off this video.
Now, if we thought that we had done something wrong and used their footage in a manner that is not protected under the law, then we would have either deleted the video or just accepted the copyright claim. But we don't think that's the issue here. We think that CTV is falsely claiming their footage in our video, even though it falls under fair dealing, which is protected by Canadian law.
So what is fair dealing? This is fair dealing, folks. Basically, what it means is that you're allowed to take a piece of footage, you're allowed to criticize it, and you're allowed to comment on it, as long as you attribute who the author is and where you got it from. And that's what we do in every single one of our videos. Now, this isn't the first time we've used CTV's clips. Hopefully it won't be the last time. But CTV also uses clips from other sources as well,
including Northern Perspective.
They actually used our clip from the Pierre Poilievre interview when all of the mainstream media was going after Pierre last fall, and they used it here. But they also used it here. There's 8 more videos that they used it in. And here's 8 more videos that they've used it in. They used it in 17 different videos, and some of which were actually extremely short, where 75% of the video was our clip.
Right, and unfortunately, legally, under fair dealing, they can do that. Now, the fact that they took it out of context and all that aside, different issue, but when they use clips without permission and build a story around it, that is permitted under fair dealing.
So what has happened with this video is there's a process, which I won't go into because it's too long, where you go back and forth between the original author of this trying to claim it, and then the person actually using it. Well, we're at a point now, folks, where the last part of this process is we submitted one more appeal citing the law. They rejected that, and now we have 7 days. At the end of that 7 days, if we do nothing, then what will happen is Bell will have that video taken down and all of the revenue will disappear. And if we then issue a counter notification, what will happen is we will say to Bell, see you in court. And they then have to provide proof to YouTube that they have filed a lawsuit in a court of law in order to come after us for copyright violation.
Now, our situation was a little bit different. If you watch the video, I explained it, where we didn't get this 7 days and this chance to negotiate back and forth. What they filed against us right away was a more serious action that immediately removed the video. Then they did it again on the second video where I didn't use any of their content at all. That one was basically bait. I put the video back up without any content, knowing that if they tried to hit it with the copyright, I would have a bulletproof retaliation lawsuit against them. And then they filed it. Now, what you need to understand is these are built-in processes with YouTube, but they are still legal actions, and YouTube tells you they are legal actions. They tell you you are launching a legal action. So they filed their copyrights, and I instantly filed my counter action, which started the clock. YouTube then had, not YouTube, sorry, CTV then had 10 days to provide proof that they had begun an action against me for copyright infringement. But they're cowards, and they never did that. I also sent a couple emails, which I'm going to show after. Right now, what I'm doing is trying to call somebody because this place is locked. There's a list of contacts on the wall, and I called my way down the list of contacts until someone finally answered. I'll show you the emails now while waiting someone to answer. They never responded. So the first one, I inquired as to why they filed a copyright strike. I wanted to talk to them and resolve it. They never answered. Then they filed a second copyright strike. That's when I asked them, care to explain which part of this video is copyright? Because there's none. There's no copyright in there whatsoever. Then they never responded. Then I filed my counter action. I never heard from them. And that's when I told them they're genuine cowards. Yes, hello. How are you today? Not too bad. I'm in your lobby, been calling down the list of operations. You're the only one who answered. I'm looking to speak to someone about making a complaint about a CTV staff using corporate resources to harass me and damage my business. I don't think that this staff works in Sudbury, though. Yeah, but I don't live in Toronto, so I just want to... It occurred here, but the staff is Daniel Bertrand, I think that's what it was. But I think he's from some type of media department, like some kind of head corporate office. But the truth is, I don't really care where he's from. My coverage was of what was happening here and of the fact that CTV News was lying to the public. CTV was insulted by the fact that I called them out. So now you're using corporate resources to harass me. I really don't care whose name is on it. As far as I'm concerned, it's CTV, and it needs to stop. A 1-866 number, or if you give me that, I'll grab it and I'll give them a call. 1-866-690-6179. All right, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. I do understand it's not your department, but as I said, to me, CTV is CTV. I don't care whose name's on it. But thanks for your time. Yeah, I probably should have put him on speakerphone. I wasn't thinking of the time. But basically, that was their list of operations that I was calling down. And he said he's in the engineering department. So he heard the complaint. He's basically like, dude, like, my job's engineering, man. Like, you got to call these people. So we're going to call corporate. But the fact is, he's likely to tell someone about it. And to us, it's about showing our presence. They're behaving like cowards, but we're not cowards. We'll go see you face to face and ask you what's up.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you have a story or event you would like to see featured on this channel, just send us an email at nocaudits@gmail.com.